Hi, this is Paul and welcome back to Parks Playback. Today I'm going to be going over all the vinyls that I picked up in the month of April. The ones I picked up for Record Store Day, however, won't be included in this video. That has its own YouTube short, which I'll link in the description or you can go check out here. But if you want to see a full breakdown of what I got for Record Store Day this year, just let me know in the comments and then I'll make a video for it if people are interested. And before I begin, just like to say thank you so much for everybody support and comments and everything so far. We've actually hit 100 subscribers and I know it's a very small achievement in the grand scheme of things, but hopefully the channel will grow. People seem to be really enjoying what I'm doing and there's good interactions within the vinyl community and everything. So once again, thank you so much for everybody who's shown love and support with the channel so far. And hope you look forward to more videos like this and other things for the future. If you would like to subscribe to the channel if you're new, it'd be very much appreciated as we grow to 500 subscribers. Really appreciate any likes and shares with the videos as well, and of course any comments on what you picked up in the month of April. And finally, if you would like to go and check out my Instagram page, which is @parks_playback, you'll see some more like dedicated photos to the vinyls I've got in the collection of recent and in the past, any things like that, and any other random things associated with music on there. That'd be also greatly appreciated. We're almost at 1,500 on that page, so obviously I keep boosting and keep growing with that would also be very much appreciated. So without further ado, let's get into what I picked up in the month of April. Now, I said I wasn't going to talk about any of the Record Store Day pickups, but this was one that I got after the fact. It's quite fortunate that this was still available for store prices after the fact of the day, because scalpers like to get in the queue and then try and flip them on eBay or Vinted for like 3 times the price of what vinyls cost from retail stores, which is absolutely disgusting. I absolutely hate the fact that people still do this, and it just sucks the fun out of what people genuinely like they're queuing up for on the day to do and get what they actually wanted. What people, you know, like camping out like the night before, essentially midnight, whatever, or even earlier than that, just to make a profit and just disrupt the whole community, which is yeah, sorry, a little mini rant there. But this one I got, and it was on sale on the Monday after the fact, and I got it from Crash Records, a semi-local store that I go to when I go into the office for work. I have the opportunity to pick that up in my lunch break, but this is what I got, and it is Brian Wilson on Tour from 1999 to 2007. It comes on this deluxe gatefold, see there, and it's got this marbled pattern, which I'll show you in a second. But this is one that was like intrigued by the colour for the artwork in itself. Really, I've gotten more into like Beach Boys of recent. I think I was the summer sunshine cut starting to come in. That kind of helps boost mood, and I feel like there's something like charming and stuff like whimsical about the music that Brian Wilson made. I know he like passed away last year as well, so this is good in memoriam to him. I've only got one Beach Boys album in the collection, so this is kind of like a nice way to sort of like hear more of his music and have more of his legacy. So on the back we've got the track lists there. They're not like ones I've necessarily come across really, and I feel like the fact that they are kind of like live recordings, there's nothing easy access on Spotify or the streaming services to come across these tracks. So I think it's a good way of discovering things. And there's covers, there's like at the bottom there's Johnny B. Good and She's Leaving Home, which is obviously a Beatles cover, another band I'm also really passionate about. So that's really nice. And this, from prior to getting this, there was only like a snippet on, it was like a trailer for what was on here, and it sounded like that kind of sold me on it, because I thought, oh, live albums can be a bit hit and miss really, but this one sounded really great, and yeah, I spun it and it really does sound great. So inside we've got all those there, There's some photos and some more of the track list and stuff. It's quite nice to see him in his, obviously on tour and everything like that. It's really great. Vinyl itself, now a bit like the Gabriel Appin from last time. I don't know, I feel like it looks more blue than like marbled. Like there's very small hints of red and yellow. You probably can't see it on the camera, it's that bad, but it is there in person when you kind of have to squint to see it. But it's really nice pressing, something unique. But yeah, honestly, really happy to have this in the collection, and I think I may have got the last copy as well, but generally it's like something I did want to get. It was on the consideration list, but I wasn't too fussed if I didn't get hold of it. If it kind of sold out, it's like, okay, well, Mr. Champion, so I'll maybe look around later down the line and see if, you know, if it comes down to a reasonable price, because I imagine it would flip for quite a lot. But I've not got a retail price, so that is Brian Wilson on tour. So now we're going to a completely different genre as usual. This is a heavy metal album, and one that I played a lot after I graduated at university back in 2010, and that is Avenged Sevenfold with Nightmare. This one is a special pressing, and one I've not had on like CD or anything before. It's kind of just like got it from like iTunes and stuff in the past. But the fact that this came out, I didn't even know it was kind of like re-released or reissue or some description. But sorry, it's very difficult to get out there. But in this makeshift sleeve that I've done, you can see this comes this like blue splatter pressing. It's kind of like translucent blue as well. It's quite nice and sounds really great as well. This one was the last one that I listened to and then never really got into again, so it's kind of like a last hurrah for me with them. But that's the same, similar, more black on that one, I think, on that Splatter, but really nice. And yeah, that's the cover, very sinister, of course, and it sounds really great, of course. I don't know if many people know this album very well, but that's the inside. You've got tracks like Nightmare, obviously, Welcome to the Family, and then like the epic one for me, the one that sticks out for me the most is the closing track, Save Me, which is like a 10-minute kind of like epic. I think from enjoying what was on City of Evil, where these kind of like very long tracks and they kind of just build and build, and that kind of fits that in a way in its own right. Really a throwback to that. Kind of took me back to my younger years when I was more into the heavy metal scene. So yeah, that's Avenged Sevenfold with Nightmare. Now this one may be a controversial one, I suppose, depending how you view the artist, but we have the new album from Ye, or Kanye West, however you want to, whatever his handle is these days, and that is the pressing of Bully. Now this one, admittedly, I kind of like saw it like going really cheap on Vinted before pre-sale was, you know, this has been pushed back so many times, and I thought, oh, I heard rumours that it was coming out the week that it dropped. I forget when I was now. It's back end of March, I think. But anyway, this one has got this isn't like the official one that's now on the streaming service. This is like the pre-one that's kind of like, I think I'm saying it like it's AI generated music, which my ignorance, I didn't really realise that, I guess, because it was like, oh, I didn't even know this was kind of really going to be coming out or anything like that. So for a first pressing, it's fine to have, and considering the price I got it at as well, which I thought, oh well, I'll best jump on that, because I'm thinking this is going to be one of those things that's going to skyrocket in terms of even though it's not official in the sense of it. I mean, it is, but it isn't, if that makes any sense. Kind of like Donda style art cover there, and there's nothing special about this pressing. It's just a black one. So yeah, the tracks, they do like, even from the actual official ones that are on streaming, like Preacher Man and Beauty and the Beast, they were like the singles that kind of initially came out, and they sound really great. Even though the album itself does feel like it's kind of like demo quality. It's like the songs, there's like 18 tracks. I don't know if it is on this one, but in terms of the actual stream one, because there is songs missing on it, and they do feel like you could condense it to 10 and make them more longer, more high production value, not just having a verse then just looping the same chorus bit on a out, and it's just like, yeah, there's room to improve it, but whether he's going to do that, I don't think he is, to be honest. This one does have a bonus track that isn't on the streaming services. It's called Mission Control. I mean, I guess that's a reason to have this in a way. I'd like to think there will be some kind of more official pressing down the line, maybe a coloured one or something that I might get, but in terms of the music itself, it's a tough one, because as I say, a lot of people don't really care for much him anymore in terms of like how he's acted. I know he did a formal apology and everything like that, but it's still, people are a little bit iffy about him, and I get that, I think, but it's something I just want to have in the collection, because he did sort of sound like he's coming back to his roots with like Vultures. I was absolute shite. But anyway, this is something to have in the collection. It may or may not stay, who knows, but for now, this is the first pressing of Bully by Ye or Kanye. Continuing with the hip hop theme, one that was an honourable mention from back in 2024, and only just getting around to finding this album. I think I'm glad I waited actually, because it being such a nice coloured pressing, and that is Future and Metro Boomin with We Don't Trust You. The #1 Billboard album according to the hype sticker, and you see the type of tracks it's got on there, Like That and Type Shit. Guest appearances including The Weeknd, Rick Ross, Travis Scott, Playboi Carti and Kendrick Lamar, which that's the Like That track, which is like the start of the Kendrick and Drake beef. This isn't even like a gatefold though, unfortunately. Kind of feel like it should have been, but it's not too bad, it gets it saved on space. But that's the artwork on the back, 2 of them, and oops, there with the title, and then the track listings on there as well. A sleeve there, just like a red black tinted filter on the photos. I don't know what the original ones look like from the original pressing, but that's all the initial artwork as well is from that different. And here we have the pressings themselves. So they're kind of like this red with a bit of black marble pattern on it. I think it works. Obviously, I think it would, I'd like the more emphasis on the black in it, but like better than just plain red, I suppose. It kind of gives it sort of like edginess to it, as it were. Yeah, as I say, it was something that I played a lot in that year when it came out. It sounded really great. I've not, like, as daft as it sounds like with Future, I normally have it like him on features, but with the Metro Boomin production, I just added something much more to it, and then also like the other features on it. I think there was just something about it that just really drew me in, and ones I streamed a lot. But I guess it paid off to wait around and not try and like source out for a ridiculous price for just a base black pressing from the start. So a couple of years down the line, and this one came out. This like I saw on eBay for whatever reason, I don't know. I just came across it and said, "Oh, I've got to get it," and it was fairly cheap as well, considering like being a coloured pressing as well. I was like, "Oh yeah, absolutely, got to get it." So that is Metro Boomin and Future with We Don't Trust You. Onto the final hip hop record of the video, and this one is one that is a mixtape. This is IDK with E.D.T.S. It was an artist I hadn't come across until like back end of last year in 2025. There was a single featuring Joey Valence and Bray, and I feel like it just had that sort of like old school energy, if that makes sense. Really enjoy that kind of hip hop and it kind of made me excited for this. And then learning this was coming out in January, listened to a lot at the beginning of the year, and I keep going back to it. So I'm keeping an eye out for like a vinyl of it. And yeah, this came through with a Vinted purchase on this one. You can see there on the sticker, this glossy sticker, you got feature and productions from Madlib, K-Tronada, No ID, Conductor Williams, Joey Valence and Bray. So absolutely like really it does feel like a mixtape in terms of like the types of tracks that you're getting. It's not all just sounding the same, so this is just standard black pressing as well. Credits sheet, nothing special about that. Then this is the vinyl, so just black pressing. But at least it comes with a non-static sleeve, which I feel like that should just be the standard really. There is a slight tear at the top, but it's very minor thing. It's nothing too major, and a couple of dents in the corner, but that's the back sleeve there. Just to be able to have this record or mixtape in the collection is really great. I feel like it's got a contender for being one of the best hip hop projects of the year. I know that sounds crazy when you got like the likes of J. Cole that's dropped an album, but this is more my bag in terms of like the variety of tracks, the production level, and everything like that. Especially if you're in the hip hop scene, I think this is worth checking out or giving another chance if you haven't, if it's kind of bypassed you or you just didn't gel with it at first. But I think there's a lot to enjoy in this one. So that is IDK with E.D.T.S. Switching genres now to something a bit more punk or post-punk, should we say? Maybe verging on metalcore in a way. Here we have The Used with Lies for the Liars on this special edition, like 25th anniversary pressing and artwork design for this album. It's one I played a lot in my uni days. It comes from Slam Dunk Records as a reissue. I don't know, that more so the artwork on the cover is absolutely striking, and I'm not really sure why it's a swan fighting a worm, but there's a song called The Bird and the Worm, but why a swan in particular, I don't know. maybe there's some more hidden meaning behind it, but it's just one that is, I don't know, it's kind of like, if you like My Chemical Romance, in a sort of similar vein, but just a bit more, a bit more heavier than that. Sort of, I guess it's sort of emo, fits into the emo category of music, but that's the inner sleeve there. But then this is like, it also feels very heavy as well, like, which is really rare because some of these pressings don't feel a thing, but there's proper heavyweight stuff, and look at that splatter. And I feel like kind of matches the artwork cover pretty well there. I do like it when it kind of marries up quite well. The only thing I'm kind of gutted about, in a way, is the fact that they didn't bother to put the bonus track on that. It's like one of my favourite songs by The Used, which is called Pain. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. The fact that it's got a reissue at all is, you know, is a testament to how all music is kind of important, no matter what genre or what era it came from, kind of thing. I know there's other issues of like their first album and another one, I forget the name of that one now, but this is the one I played the most and the one that gelled with the most. There's like heavier tracks like the Ripper, like a great opening track, and Pretty Handsome Awkward. But then you got like sort of like more whimsical ones. It's almost like Panic at the Disco-esque in terms of like the using strings with like the Bird and the Worm I mentioned before. And then there's the Liar Liar is a bit of a kind of a jokey one at the end, like liar liar, pants on fire kind of thing. It's like very childish, but it kind of works. There is one track on here though, it's like, I don't know how, even at the time, how they would have got it past like censoring, and like how would you be allowed to say that? But if you listen to the track Paralyzed, you go through the lyrics on that. I'm not going to say it on here, but I don't think it's very PC anymore. That's all I'll say, but somehow they still made it on the track list. So yeah, that is The Used with Lies for the Liars. Next up we have another rock related album one that is a fantastic band name, if I do say so myself. They released 2 albums last year, and this is the second one, which I was kind of surprised that they were even going to do that, because that's normally happens. And that is Psychedelic Porn Crumpets. And this one is called Pogo Rodeo. The other one goes by Carpe Diem Moonman. That one was initially a case of, wow, that artwork looks cool and trippy. I haven't got it to hand at the moment, but I'll put a picture of it there because it kind of looks like that's a similar kind of thing with this one here of this kind of plasticine character. Yeah, this one is, I didn't get it straight away, trying to manage like, okay, I didn't want to pay like full whack for like shipping and stuff like that, because it was like one of these obscure ones that like it's not very accessible. Probably not a lot of people have heard of this band, but I do recommend checking them out if you like your sort of like psychedelic Australian rock, because that's where the band originate from, Australia. There's influences of Sabbath, Pink Floyd in some of the riffs and stuff like that, but I don't want to say experimental, but the structure of the songs are kind of wild, but kind of reflects the album title, to be honest. But the reason I jumped with this is because, one, it was on Vinted and going for a good price, and 2, for the colour pressing that it was listed as. This is very vibrant pink. I want to say it's marbled. Yeah, it's marbled. Translucent colour. Like that's so pretty. Again, sort of matches the colour in some aspect. There's the pink shoes on the horse there. There's nothing crazy in there, to be honest, except for that. But that's just the lyrics on there. And the back has the track listing and Pogo Rodeo on the back of there. But yeah, a band definitely worth checking out. I don't actually know how many albums they've done, but I think they've been around for a while actually, but I only just discovered them last year. So I've got this one now, and I've got Carpe Diem Moonman, but this is another great addition to the collection. So this is the Psychedelic Porn Crumpets with Pogo Rodeo. Now from psychedelic rock to hyperpop, with an album that honestly is very much climbing the charts for being one of the albums of the year, honestly. We had a Brat Summer in 2024, and now in 2026 we're going to have a Slayyyter Summer with The Worst Girl in America. This one is, I don't know, very intense, like in terms of the music on this one. Honestly, wouldn't have been something I would have listened to back in the day, which is kind of crazy considering like you're not supposed to really going into like dance, hyper energetic music in your later years, but there's something just like the production of this just like stands out really well. That is Slayyyter there, and those are the tracks. There's like pretty much everything is like top tier really in terms of, I don't know how to describe the sound. They're just like high energy, and they all kind of have their own unique sound to them, different enough from one another to warrant that. Which is what you want really. You just don't want something that sounds exactly the same all the way through. But inner sleeve there, and it's on the back there. Also looking forward to seeing her at Leeds Fest this year. I'd forgotten that she was actually performing, so that's kind of a nice surprise to actually see. I think it's a UK premiere as well, which is kind of for the year at least. This is like a green translucent one pressing. I got this off eBay at a great price as well. I'm thinking now it's probably really difficult to come across because it's been so hyped up in terms of what it sounds like, and I know it's a lot of people's favourites at the moment. I can absolutely understand why, in terms of like the pop scene and everything, and how it's kind of shifted in terms of what the music is like these days. But I know there's like a dirt filled one or something, which I mean, it's like, that's kind of cool, but I don't like the idea of liquid filled ones anyway. So the fact there's a dirt one is a bit like, okay, right, you'll just put anything in a record these days to make it a bit more edgy. I don't know, I just feel like it's very overpriced anyway. So, but no, I'm quite content with a green coloured pressing, if that's all right with you. So if you were big into Brat, then this is definitely for you if you haven't already checked it out. It might be a hard sell for anybody who's sort of like in like the rock scene and everything like that, but even just start with the opening track, Dance, because a lot of the things, especially on that track, Ryan reminds me of like Daft Punk kind of vibes in production. Crank is like absolutely off its head kind of sense in terms of music, but yeah, and Gas Station sort of has like that kind of, is a good production flow on that as well, like a good beat, but not as hard as Crank. But those are 3 tracks I recommend you check out from this album to start with and see what you think. But this is Slayyyter with Worst Girl in America. We're on to the penultimate one of this month, and that is a new album. Of course, Slayyyter's album was a new album, but this one came out this month, and this is Jessie Ware with Superbloom. You can see the hype sticker there on this. There, I'll try to hold it up there. It comes on this peacock blue pressing. I've seen ones on Instagram after the fact for the Blood Records pressing, and oh my god, I wish I had signed up to get that one, because that looks absolutely like perfect for this artwork. I'll put a picture of it here. Can't believe I missed out on that one. I should have got it, but I think that'll just be too much on secondhand market now. But very, very vibrant blue. It's a sign of like translucent as well. I feel like there's a little bit of marble going on in there as well. It'd probably not be clear there. That's the sleeve, and that's the back. I would say there's nothing going to compare to her album What's Your Pleasure. Like, that is absolutely like, that's like a no skip album, to be honest. But this is a close runner-up, like, and back on form for her. There's so many tracks that kind of are very similar. She got that disco pop thing down pat now, I think, really. But that What's Your Pleasure is like such a great album, like pretty much perfect in terms of like that kind of old style thing. And I think that this one kind of recaptures that in a little way. But definitely consideration for one of the great albums of the year. You've got like the campiness of Ride for one thing. I Get Used to This, and Sauna as well. That kind of has that cheekiness to it, if that makes sense. I'd recommend, if you do like What's Your Pleasure as an album, then give this a spin or a play or however. And if you can, get the Blood Records one, because making the vinyl match the cover, definitely worth doing if you can. But this is Jessie Ware with Superbloom. And lastly, this is one that just came the other day, so it's like, oh, it's good timing to fit this in. And I feel like I saved the best to last because of how unique it is in a way. I'll get to that in a second. But as I said at the start of the video, I've kind of been getting more into the Beach Boys. The Beatles are a band also that I say, like, I've kind of not to say I've ever lost love for them, but I don't know, of recently, I think with the documentary that came up on Disney Plus recently, and kind of just going into the discography a bit more again, I think it's kind of reignited my love for them. Now, this band has a mixture of both those elements, I'd say. The album came out in 2024, but for some reason it didn't really make my top albums of the year. But honestly, I think that could easily fit on it now, like listening back, and it's just, I don't know, just something about it just lifts your spirits in a way, like amalgamation of those kind of like the sound of what the 60s and 70s brought with those bands of the Beach Boys and Beatles. And that band and the album is Lemon Twigs with A Dream Is All We Know. And what is special about this is I managed to get this off Bandcamp. Don't know when, like, I'm signed up for that for some other tracks, like the King Gizzard ones, which you can't get on streaming anymore. The fact that this one was still on there for an option to buy this, so it came from the States, I believe, and I have the limited edition like candy floss pressing, also with a flexi disc which I've never knew was a thing. So we're actually going to look at that right now. I've split the seam down the middle, but I'm going to open this sort of like now. So, see, I've already dropped out the thing. I hope that's okay. So there we go. Oh. So yeah, a flexi disc, which is so bizarre. Like, I've never seen anything like this before in any community. Like, does anybody know about these kind of things? Has anybody got any of other ones, examples? But yeah, it's like a plastic one, but I presume this will, it's got like the grooves and everything, so I presume this will play. There's a song called Gifts with like a bonus track. So there's just like, that's so unique in such like way. Like the quirkiness of that is that's really cool. What else we got here? We've got a signed print. Yeah, that's the artists, the brothers. And then we have a poster there. Not something I necessarily hang up or put up on the wall, but kind of nice little bonus. And then I need to put this in a sleeve, but candy floss pressing. Careful. Oh dear. There we go. There we go. Yes, that looks really nice. And I'm so glad, because I was like looking for options of which ones to get. Like, do I just get standard black pressing? What coloured options are you know, because I like to try and find the most unique ones, and I'd say this one is definitely a unique set. That's the inner sleeve there, the kind of old style quirkiness to it. And that's the track's lyrics on there. And there's a little sticker as well. One of the things that as well to note as well, it says there in the corner about it being remastered and mixed from analog tapes. So it's not digitized or anything like that. So I feel like I'm very looking forward to playing this on the turntable, because it's going to sound like proper, like as it should be, if that makes sense, rather than just like a compressed version. So it should sound absolutely fantastic. And I'd say now it's probably almost like a no skip album, and I know they're doing a new album this year, I think in like a couple of weeks time, so I'm very much looking forward to that one, and I'm almost certainly going to be picking up a copy of that on vinyl. So spoilers ahead of May, but that is probably going to be one that I'll be showing off in the collection. For the time being is Lemon Twigs with A Dream Is All We Know. So there we are. There is all the vinyls I picked up in the month of April. Hope you enjoyed what I had to go through today, and I hope there's some recommendations for you to check out as well. If you would be so kind as to give us a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, then that'd be very much appreciated, and help get eyes out onto the rest of the record community on YouTube. And also be sure to follow me on Instagram at parks_playback. That'll also be very much appreciated as well. And thank you once again to everybody who's already subscribed to the channel, getting us to 100, and look forward to making more of the videos in the future. And if you've made it this far through the video, please let me know if you would like me to go through what I picked up on Record Store Day as a full video rather than the YouTube short. So thank you once again for watching the video. Thank you to George for being here by my side, and we'll speak to you next time.